So, hi everyone, this is Country Music News International. My name's Nigel Sharpe, and today I'm speaking to Mr. Jonah Prill on another one of our transatlantic video calls. Jonah, how are you doing?
Good, good. Thanks so much for interviewing me. This is fun.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, you're a pretty new name to me. I mean, I'm an
hmm
old school country music fan and musician, so there's
hmm
a whole bunch of new people coming out of the States these days. So, Jonah, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What are you doing right now? Where do
Well,
you live?
yeah, let's get into it. I mean, I'm born and raised from Montana. Um, there's not a whole lot of people out here in the West. There's more cows than there are people out here. Spent my whole life here, growing up in the country western agriculture kind of lifestyle. Been doing music for, gosh, since as long as I can remember. I mean, same with every other musician. We just love music, so we've been doing it for forever. And there's just a time when we kind of discover that we can do something with music, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm at the very beginning stages of hopefully a very long and successful music career, and just pouring my heart out into music that I write and showing people live and on stage that this is what I love to do.
So, where does the writing come from, or what inspires you to write?
A lot of it so far has been what what can I relate myself to someone else in writing, basically, and what's something that I feel very strongly about and have a lot of emotion and memories from. And my first single, Friday Night, was just going out on a Friday night and having a good time with your buddies. And this last single, You Remind Me, is quite literally what it says. It's You Remind Me. It's about how anything and everything can remind you about that special person you had in the past, whether that ended well or poorly. It could be as simple as some chapstick reminds you of that person, or any other thing, and it's just like a continual, not necessarily bad thing that memories come up, but just kind of like a little reminder.
So, writing is a very personal thing for you. Is that a fair
Totally,
thing to say? Yeah,
absolutely, yep.
yeah. And you mentioned just then, like playing.
Mhm.
What's the situation at the moment for you for actually playing live gigs? Can you actually do that? Because over here we can't.
Mhm.
Well, not
we
yet.
we can't we can now, and it's pretty recent that we can go and play shows. I know there have been a few locally that were happening a few weeks ago, but they were pretty small and they were fairly restricted. I know there was kind of a reopening, they called it, in Nashville this last week, where they started having more people come in. And of course, I don't know the details of how they put those events on, but things are starting to open back up, and that's a really, really great thing, because us musicians got to get out and play,
Yeah,
and we love to
that's
do
right.
that. Yep.
So talking about a band, do you actually have a regular band that you work with, or do you use other musicians?
For the most part, we kind of have our solid trio. It's me, Ryan Hayes, and Justin Olmstead, guitar player and kind of vocal tracker producer, and of course me, the singer. And we just kind of have a little trio that we like to play, and we still need a bass guitar player and a drummer.
Mhm.
But we have so many local guys that we can go play with. It's really, we're really fortunate to have all the musicians around us that we do.
And how is the sort of scene in Montana? I mean, have you got like plenty of places where you can play?
Um, yes, there's a lot of opportunity to play in Montana. It'll kind of come this spring and this summer when those things start to happen. I know there are a few scheduled gigs coming up around the state through March and April, and then things start opening up for bigger acts and everything like that.
Okay. So have you got plans to tour this year, or is it going to be
We're
like pick and choose a gig here and there?
it's going to be a little bit of both. We have some plans to do some bigger shows, but they're still kind of figuring out the details and kind of working things out with COVID still kind of out there.
Hmm.
But we're fortunate enough out here to where we kind of can pick and choose a little bit. If we want to go play a brewery on a Friday or Saturday night, we can go do that.
Okay. Now I've listened to the two songs, or I've watched the two videos, and one of the things that kind of struck me about both of them really was this really powerful, massive guitar sound, which is something that I really like. I mean, I'm a guitar player, so
Yeah.
a zillion guitars on a track sounds good to me. So how did you, and where did you do those recordings?
So I love telling this story. So we do these recordings. The vocals we do in Cody, Wyoming. We do some tracking here in town, but Justin Olmsted, our kind of our guitar guy. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. We went to Colstrip, Montana, where he has a little studio set up where we can record guitars and drums and tracks and everything like that. And we were just, small town Montana, just ripping on the guitars, recording. And that's how I want to record music, is just somewhere small, quaint, nothing too crazy, and just some guys making music.
Well, it's a very impressive sound, I can tell you. So give my congratulations to your guitar player.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I think you've been to Nashville. Is that correct?
Yep, I've only been to Nashville one time. We're already planning another trip at the end of this month. The first time I was there was right before COVID hit last year.
Okay.
We were in the airport on the way back, and the NBA got shut down, and then it was just domino effect after that. So we got home right when it hit.
So what was the reason for the trip to Nashville? Was that just purely business? Or was it
A little bit of business, and we kind of wanted to go check out the scene and see what it was really like before we kind of officially started down this path, because that was before the first song, Friday Night, came out. That song came out in September, and we went early March of last year. And so we just kind of wanted to go, hang out and have a good time. And of course we did a little business and met some very influential people along the way. But I really enjoyed it, the time that we were there.
So going back to the music, I mean, there are these two videos out. Mm-hmm. How were they done, and where were they done?
They were done here. They were done here in Montana, and they were done pretty simply. I mean, we don't have a huge production team. It's just us, just some Montana boys that want to make music and want to have fun. And I mean, I think one of them was a cell phone video. And just other fun parts were just kind of put together by myself and by Ryan and Justin. So we didn't need anything super crazy.
Doing all these recordings by yourself, mm-hmm. doing the videos by yourself. So this means you're independent, right?
Absolutely, yep.
You're not signed to a record label.
Nope, independent so far. We'll see where the journey goes. Okay. I am with Oath Management Company. They've been awesome so far. They're so great to work with, but we are independent.
So how are you getting your music to your audience or potential audience?
So I do have a pretty decent Instagram following and TikTok following. I've been able to put my content and really my personality on social media, and people saw that early on. And I've been doing social media for, I think, really going after it for maybe 3 years now. So I knew I wanted to have a large audience, tell people about something. And I didn't know what that was along the way, but I was like, well, there's going to be a point in time when I want to tell a lot of people about something. And it just so happened that it was music. And once we started telling people that I was making music, they were all about it, and they wanted to hear more, and they were so supportive. And it was really great to see so many people come together and want a small town boy to be successful in music. So really, really privileged in that sense. And it's been a lot of fun.
Now, another thing I saw was, or it's very noticeable about you, is you look super fit, unlike me. So, I mean, are you into sports and all that kind of stuff?
I was in high school, and I've just kind of always had an active lifestyle, and being fit kind of comes along with doing miles hiking miles with a huge backpack on, carrying gear. when you're out in the woods chasing elk all the time. It just kind of, you don't really have to do much when you're working that hard during hunting season. It just kind of lets you float through the rest of the year. But I do take fitness and nutrition fairly seriously. I mean, I feel so great after a hard workout, eating good. I love it.
That's a very different lifestyle to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we mentioned already things like TikTok and Instagram, but how else can people kind of follow you?
You can follow on Spotify on the streaming apps themselves. You just gotta search Jonah Prill, and I know you can follow me on Spotify. I believe you can do the same thing on Apple Music, and
Right.
I know you can YouTube it and that sort of thing. But pretty much everything when it comes to music is socially based now. So I mean that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all that jazz.
So I'm going to say farewell from a fairly cold Frankfurt. How's the weather where you are?
It's surprisingly nice today. Last week we
Okay.
were in the severe negative temperatures with a lot of snow.
I can
So
imagine it gets really, really cold in Montana in the winter.
yep, get a lot of snow. That we
Um,
do. Mm-hmm.
anyway, everybody, thanks very much to Jonah Prill for joining us here at Country Music News International.
Yeah.
My name's Nigel Sharpe, and you keep a lookout for more of these interviews with great up and coming country music artists. Thank you and goodbye, Jonah.
Thank you so much for having me.